Right, well, we're on. So, good afternoon, everybody. Be serious. Good afternoon, everybody. This is episode 4, number 4 of Grey Matters. We've just had a discussion of what we're talking about. Was it motivation? Because I've had a lapse in motivation. And did fuck all for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we all do get that.
Yeah, but your motivation was, and I say, linked into being spry as well.
Yes. I mean, we were talking about what's really important to each of us, and for you, photography is really important, and probably the most important thing that I make time for is actually training.
Boot camp.
Lifting weights and boot camp and stuff like that. And we were talking about...
Gay men would love you for that. Do you know, going back to that document... Oh yeah, there's one guy that like does boot camps.
You see me doing 20 press-ups. That would impress him, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
One day I will show you.
Yes. Well...
But the different types of motivation.
We have space.
We do have space. Next time. Episode 5 will be... press-ups.
What, doing the one-handed?
No, on 2 fingers. No.
No, I want to see the training schedule that.
Yes.
It's
Lindsay-Moore.
No, not Lindsay-Moore.
I mean, God, she did well.
Oh, she was in Devil Wears Prada, and it's the film's Tomorrow War.
No.
It's a Tom Cruise one, and she's the kick-ass saviour in this time loop, and you see her doing all this like kind of one-handed business. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Emily Blunt.
Takes some doing. So. That really does take some doing.
Yeah. So can you do the 2-finger one?
No.
No.
Of course I can't.
Okay.
Little hands. But I do.
So yeah,
I do a full press up.
Yeah.
But motivation is different because you get excited at the potential.
Yes.
Going out and taking photos.
Or it's definitely the elements.
There's a buzz there.
And all the things, the bringing things together, the different elements, the things that I'm thinking about, which is lighting, the way people are. It's just that to me is my workout.
Yeah.
Followed by cheesecake.
Cheesecake, very large cheesecake. And I do my workout so I can have cheesecake.
You budget.
I do. I budget.
You
my
budget
calories.
for calories.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
it has been known.
Yeah, really.
But, oh gosh, yeah. I never ever am not thinking about the in and out equation.
Really?
Oh, I have been very close to anorexic in my life, and that mentality never quite leaves you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never quite leaves you.
So, right, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm just saying my passion is finding out about people. But was it a kind of social thing that you felt like you needed to be a certain size to fit in to a good group? That's just too generalising.
I think it's a classic. It started for me when I was at school.
Yeah.
And classic. My parents had split up.
Okay.
So it was about. I mean, they say it's about control. I never thought it was about control. But it was one thing that you can control is how much you eat.
Yes.
And to go. When I started college, I would not eat Monday through to Friday, and I would eat at the weekend.
Wow.
And there was a power to that.
Yeah. And
I still absolutely despise it when I put weight on.
That's. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just thinking the conversation I had with our neighbour. What I see her on and off during the month, but I haven't seen her. I think, yeah, probably about 4 or 5 weeks because I did do my shutdown, just sit on the patio and do boggle. So she hadn't seen me for say 5 weeks. And what do you think the first thing that she said to me? Or she didn't say hello.
You look well.
No. No.
What did she say?
You've lost weight.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a compliment.
That was the first thing.
Yeah.
And also, when I went down to pick up my medication, the pharmacist, who I see every 2 months, and he's a really nice guy, and the first thing he said to me was, "Oh, you've lost weight." And I said, "No, I've just changed my beard shape.
Yeah.
I've grown my hair. My grooming's a little bit different. So, and it has changed the shape of my face, or I think it has done."
Well, your face does change shape as you mature.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I gained cheekbones.
Oh, I gained cheekbones when I lost my teeth.
Well, that's another way of doing it.
Yeah, my wisdom teeth at the back grow forward, so they pulled out 2 teeth to allow space, and I think it was it was about 3 or 4 weeks later. I was looking in the mirror. I thought, where's that shadow underneath there? So I did a Joan Crawford because that was she famously did that. But
anyway.
Yeah. Anywho, so
it's that.
Yeah.
But that is nothing to do with my motivation for training.
No. It's
Maybe
part of it.
Vanity has a little bit to do with it, but I don't feel the buzz in anticipation of going and lifting weights. But I struggle to make myself go sometimes. It's because it would be better to stay in bed than be in the gym at 6 a.m. But actually, halfway through, start to think, damn, I feel bloody brilliant. And then by the end,
Is that endorphins?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I've done the gym thing, and I think I'm impervious
you
to
didn't get that far,
impervious to endorphins.
Maybe you didn't work hard enough.
I would largely agree with that. The gym culture is on for me, and I will admit, I'm not a huge fan of physical exercise. If I don't have to do it, I'd much rather have a day watching Judge Judy, given the opportunity.
So I believe there's an exercise for everybody. You just haven't found the right one yet.
That will be it. Somewhere.
Because, yes, I was like you. I was stuffed into the goal in hockey because I was crap. I was only crap because you didn't get me doing anything that I could do.
Yeah.
I actually am quite good at something.
Were you crap because nobody explained to you how to play the game?
Well, it was such a boring game anyway.
Well, I know. But because when I was primary school, I started late because I'd had a quite a serious accident by pulling a massive garden urn on top of me and did a lot of damage. So I was in hospital and I had to learn how to walk again. And then I came to school at probably about October or November. So all the things that when they say like play, I have absolutely zero concept what the offside rule is, it's not like
because everyone had it explained to them.
Because they had it explained to them. So I was always it was like I didn't know what I was doing, and also they treated me like I was made of glass, and it was put me somewhere where I wouldn't get damaged. And it's like I've been repaired. Hello world, I'm back here again. So it was pushed out onto the side. So it's just like it was never explained to me, and I think I must have missed the rules of rugby because that was never ever never extra. I think it was just and I think if I look hard enough in here now that I can find things in here, I could probably find my school report where the gym teacher says I don't like. It's apparent I don't like body contact sports,
Which is fair enough.
Which is
Thank
fair
you very
enough.
much.
Yeah, why not?
So find something else.
That's it. Yes,
You know,
and train people properly.
It's your job.
So the endorphins thing has completely passed me by, gym wise, and I refer to my high from photography as a pixel high, and I do get.
It may not keep you alive for long.
It'll keep me awake longer. Yeah. Oh gosh. I've tried to explain it to other people, but it is for me there's the anticipate. If say like now we're talking about I'm going to go off at 9 o'clock tonight and go and do a shoot after you've gone home. Like I was saying last night, I'd be doing all the little niggly jobs, and putting stuff away, emptying the dishwasher, washing up, all the feeding the cats, cat litter, and all that kind of business. I'll do that because if not, I'll just be pacing up and down. I just want to go.
Waiting to go.
I want to go. I want to get my workout started, but then afterwards, I always say, I'm not going to download it. I'm too tired to download these. I'll do them tomorrow, and I know it's always I've got to look straight away, and I will often go to the one that I really feel strongly about because it's ridiculous. I don't know whether other photographers do it, but I often remember it, and I'll go back to it, and I'll just pull out one or two. It's just like that little thing. But then once I'm editing, I do enjoy editing. I know a lot of photographers don't enjoy that aspect of it. I like that. I can lose myself in it. But then once you've got the semblance of a shoot together, it's just a run through of that. For me, it is a very, very positive high. And there are a couple of shots that have given me the old cry eye. You think, there was a couple of shots from Jack and Nick's wedding because that was quite a mammoth task. Because it was a long day, but it was because everybody was so bloody brilliant, and it was like it's one of the things I don't know whether it's something I do seem to be able to get quite close to people, without stopping what they're doing.
Partly because you're not there in a photographer's outfit.
Really?
You know what I mean?
What's the photographer's outfit?
There's always a slight formality and stiffness about.
Oh, the wedding photographer.
Yeah, and the kit and the body language.
Yeah.
And, you're not going to feel like they're part of it. They're apart from it.
But when Terry and I were driving home, we were talking about the people that were there, and the difference between Birmingham folk and Newcastle folk is huge.
It is huge.
And they'll say, well, the Northerners are all really friendly. Oh my God, they are. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. And there was, when I was going between the ladies and the men, they had two very, very different kind of vibes. It was Nick's ladies, though, doing the makeup and things like that, but the chat was just really nice. It was just lovely, fun, non-complicated chat, and it was really, really upbeat. And then the guy, and I'm not going to say this and make me sound like the guys were totally riotous, but there was just this huge sense of camaraderie between the groomsmen and the groom, and it was just like, I've never seen that at any other wedding that I've done. There was just this ease of each other's company. And then there was shots of Nick and her dad, and there's one where there's just absolutely just this most gorgeous magic between them, and then there was one later on with Nick's mum in front and the dad just behind, and their expressions are just so totally different. It's like it's things like that, and I would say on some of the shots I was almost on top of people. Do you know what I mean?
You're really in with it.
You're in with it, so they just kind of got on with their good times, and and they were sort of very.
So you're not quitting photography yet?
Not today. Not today. I mean that conversation about TikTok. Oh Jesus.
No.
That took me out.
No, but stop dwelling on it.
Was it? Yeah, I know.
Because it was a bit of nonsense.
It's nonsense. Yeah.
And people are full of nonsense.
And I do feel a little bit validated. Last week, Thursday, going down to London and seeing something hugely original. The exhibition, the Lebo exhibition, for me, very, very inspirational. And also, going to show off a little bit. So, being interviewed for a book about 80s culture, and bless them, they are Birmingham people in the 80s. Yes, we did go to clubs. I know we didn't have many, but we did. But it was talking about, NJ was talking about letting things happen organically. And it's like, why did I think that something I could flick a switch? And I would much prefer.
Why isn't it sad? And it's so true. I can't remember what the ratio is. That one bad comment will outweigh a dozen good ones.
It's more than that. It's
huge,
something like an 80-20 split.
Which is so sad.
It is, yeah. And I was reading a post this morning about an album that came out. It would have been like 1991, 92, and it's the Peter Gabriel So album. Now, it's quite a minimal album sleeve, and I think there's a little bit of lettering. There's the title in a coloured tablet, little square, and people were arguing over the colour of it, whether it was blue or it was red, and it's like, you people have got to be all over easily 40 plus. There probably would be some new, but you're bickering over a fucking colour. Well, oh my God! So
people haven't got enough to worry about in their lives.
That's true. That is very, very true.
Starving, we'd all be a bit different.
Hell yes. Oh it is difficult. I find it quite difficult to take compliments.
I've got better at that, and I found our work, because we believed in it so 100%.
Yes.
If other people weren't that convinced by it, they were wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it took. There was a couple of occasions I've had in the past where I said I post on my own page, and because you do. I really rarely post in other groups, because there was one person that was like so negative.
It's because they're doing nothing.
I know.
And negative people are always doing nothing.
That's it.
Their opinion is of nil value.
Yeah, I would, if somebody was asking me about an opinion on somebody else's portrait, a photograph of a person, I think I do have a valid opinion somewhere along the way, because I would look at it and look at lighting, composition, structure, tonality, and things like that. So to get so heavily criticised for some headshots I did by somebody that just does not have any people in their pictures. It's just so yeah. But yeah, I did got a little bit demotivated, but yeah, pulled it back. Here I am. Perfect. So yeah, lick 'em on.
I think we should wrap.
Yes, I think it's a good place to wrap. But yeah,
seems the appropriate.
Yeah.
Pa.
Anyway, folks, you have a good one. Catch you later.